Alright, all you Streetlight Crusaders, and I guess a couple of you wrestling fans out there tonight, welcome back to the Tuesday Night Special. And now it's time for us to talk about what happened during this week's edition of Monday Night Raw from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Which at this point we might as well call Flashback Raw, because it felt like I was more in the past than I was in the current moment of Monday Night Raw. And what do I mean by that, folks? Well, Monday Night Raw would kick off with what happened last week on Monday Night Raw, with Randy Orton taking out the Big Show with not only a punt kick, but with 2 separate RKOs, only for Randy Orton to hit the ring and then say, "Man, now I feel accomplished. I've been called many things in my career, whether it be the Viper, the Apex Predator, or even the Legend Killer," and would even try to compare himself to The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, saying that he's been here longer, his career longevity has been better, and his track record as a champion has been better than the both of them. Granted, that may be true, but I'd like to see Randy Orton win 3 Royal Rumbles back to back to back and then call Stone Cold Steve Austin and tell him otherwise. But I digress, because Randy Orton, speaking of championship pedigrees, would then call out Drew McIntyre, telling him that he challenges him to a match at SummerSlam, and promise him at SummerSlam when he hits him with an RKO, he will not see it coming. Got a feeling that may be true, and at the same time, doesn't this seem a little bit familiar? Randy Orton challenging Drew McIntyre almost the same way as he challenged Kofi Kingston at last year's SummerSlam? A little bit of deja vu, don't you think? But before we try to figure out what's Randy Orton's next big move outside of him trying to capture the WWE Championship from Drew McIntyre, next up we would see Nia Jax also agreeing alongside with Randy Orton, saying, "Man, I just woke up too, and I felt like I wanted to become Raw Women's Champion. But I couldn't get that opportunity due to the fact that I was cheated out of the opportunity from a referee, and when I went to go get my rematch, next thing you know, Charlotte Flair butted in line and took it from me. But where has Charlotte been since I took her out? Oh yeah, exactly. And then just when she was about to lay claim to the Raw Women's Championship after tonight's festivities, next thing you know, the Queen of Spades herself would hit the scene and then would go toward the ring and say she didn't give a damn about what she said, which led to an all-out slugfest in Budapest between these 2 women wrestlers, only for it to just cut to a commercial break and lead to the next match of the night, which would be none other than Andrade Cien Almas and Angel Garza going one-on-one against the Viking Raiders and Cedric Alexander and Ricochet for the winner to earn a title match at this year's SummerSlam. And before this match could even begin, first thing you would see, besides the Street Profits giving everybody their own special ring announcements, including the team of Angel Garza and Andrade Cien Almas, but would also put into question the tag team ability of the 2 that was being led by Selena Vega. But those doubts will be put to rest during this match, because despite the fact of Andrade Cien Almas getting hit with an over-endo and into a nasty tiger knee to the face, and would see even Eric trying to do a suicide dive, only to get stopped with a step-up enziguri by none other than Angel Garza on the outside of the ring, the real changer of this said contest would see Air Ivar doing a cannonball from the top rope, taking out not only Cedric Alexander, but Ricochet and even his own tag team partner, all the while Andrade would push none other than Eric back inside the ring, and even his own tag team partner back in the ring, to set up the ultimate victory for them, with Angel Garza hitting a nasty wing clipper on Eric in the center of the ring for the team of Andrade and Angel Garza to go on to become #1 contenders to fight for the tag team championships at SummerSlam via pinfall. And after the fact that they won, they would celebrate in the face of the Street Profits for them to say we're going to be new champions at SummerSlam, only for the team of the Street Profits to take their eye off the ball for 1 second too long, for the team of Angel Garza and Andrade Cien Almas to beat the living daylights flag tag out of them, not only for what they did last week, but also to send a message to them going into the biggest party of the summer in less than 3 weeks. And by the way that the team of Angel Garza and Andrade is working now, I got a feeling they may go home with the gold. That's just a hunch. And mostly because hodgepodge teams in this company tends to win tag team gold. I don't know why it is, but it is. And with that prediction a little bit earlier than we hoped, folks, the next thing to take place on Monday Night Raw would see none other than Nia Jax going one-on-one against Shayna Baszler. And during this match, action would go back and forth, but would quickly go to the outside of the ring for the both of them to try to beat each other into the hockey wall on the outside of the ring, for the referee to reach a double countout, and for the both of them to continue to beat the crap out of each other, only for security to come out to try to break it up, only for one of them to suffer the wrath of the Karafuda clutch, and even for Nia Jax to slam down a couple of guards as well. For a person in the back who looked like, I don't know, I guess Aiden English with hair, for him to just say, hey, stop it, both of you, stop it. Only for him to get his shirt pulled over his head and for him to get slammed to the ground like if he was nothing too. For the referees to come out to try to form some form of challenge as security, only for Nia Jax to knock Shayna Baszler off the apron and for the security to hold her back for her to say, oh, next time, I'm gonna get you next time. And then for the music of Shayna Baszler to play and for none other than Nia Jax to get fined later on for her actions. Right. And the next thing to take place on Monday Night Raw would see none other than the Monday Night Messiah himself, Seth Rollins, alongside with his disciple, trying to go for a non-violent approach with Dominic, saying that ever since we've decided to go for the new cause on Monday Night Raw, or for the greater good, we've seen people get injured left and right. First it was Rey Mysterio's eye, then it was Aleister Black's arm, Kevin Owens' ankle, and just enough is enough, said Seth Rollins, so he wanted to handle this in a non-confrontational manner and would call out Dominic, who was in the house tonight, only for it to end with more violence because, and I quote Seth Rollins when he say this, if you're looking for somebody to mentor you, look no further. Obviously ticking off Dominic for him to hit him down to the ground with a double leg tackle and a series of right hands to the face, only for Murphy to get involved by tagging Dominic Mysterio and then helping out Seth Rollins to send him into every single hockey wall that was available to their disposal here in the Performance Center. Then you would even see them trying to take out the eye of Dominic, only for none other than Aleister Black, bandaged arm and all, to come out to try to help out Dominic, for him to suffer the wrath of not only the hockey walls, but a nasty tiger knee to the face to take out Aleister Black, along with a curb stomp, or the blackout like I called it back in the day, by Seth Rollins. And for the referees to just stand there and watch as Seth Rollins would slap the face of Murphy, telling him, you know what you gotta do, you know how much pain he caused you in the past, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. Only for Murphy to pick up the head of Aleister Black and try to gouge his eyes out on the steel steps. Really? Really? And the referees didn't do anything about it and just went over there and checked on Aleister Black, wondering if he was okay, and the answer is no, the man's eye just got messed up on the stairs. Only for Dominic Mysterio to come from out of nowhere with a kendo stick, taking out anybody in his path that was a part of the quote-unquote greater good of Monday Night Raw. getting a little bit of revenge for his father and most likely leading into a SummerSlam match that take place in less than 3 weeks. Which, if it does, I can't wait to see it happen. And with that potential SummerSlam match to look forward to in the near future, folks, we might as well go ahead and grab a glass of water and head back into this musical goodness as the Tuesday Night Special rolls on when we come back with the second half of what happened during this week's edition of Monday Night Raw from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, right after this. So don't go anywhere just yet, folks, and stay tuned.